And rolling in 3, 2, 1. Here we go, go. On an adventure. Thingamajigger is up and away. Rolling. Wish I could pull out the chat and whatnot. Okay, I'm really excited for this stream. Guys, let me tell you something that I don't usually do is talk about the things that I think most people want to know. So, if I could make $100 a day, how? Ooh, Jason, what a question. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about any and everything you want to talk about, whatever it is you want to know, whatever it is you want to touch upon. This is why streams are so beneficial, because I see a lot of people struggle where you will watch a YouTube video that'll give you advice, but guess what the YouTube video won't do is answer your questions. So I want to make sure that I can answer as many questions as possible, because there's a lot I'm still learning. Let me say that. There's a lot I'm still learning. There's a lot I'm still getting good at. There's a lot I'm still struggling with. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Not struggling with. There's a lot I'm still learning. So on the path to just whatever that learning cycle looks like, yeah, I want to be able to help you. So boom. Let me make sure I have all the proper chats pulled out, because if I don't, then that'll just make me upset. But what is up with that? All right. Okay. Let us do this thing. So, first question was, if I could make $100 a day, how? Well, first you have to ask yourself, let's talk about it. If we want to make $100, I'm going to draw for you guys. We're going to draw. If we could make $100 a day, first, if we do $100 a day, what is that? If you're making $100 every single day, that is $3,000 a month, right? So, dang, you only want to make $3,000 a month? I get it. I think I might get it. Maybe, kind of, sort of, not really. But if you want to make $100 a day, you first have to ask yourself, what is the skill that you want to really build on and develop and give to the people? But yeah, I think that's we're going to get deeper into that. I think first my question would be why? Why? What is your why? How did you make it? How long did it take you? How long did you commit? Nice. No, these are some really good questions. I want you to take some time to just ask the questions, and then we're going to kind of illustrate it. If we can't illustrate it, I want to show you guys. I also got this handy dandy little thing. You see it? Will it focus on it? No way, it's that up close to the camera and it won't focus on it. Anyways, no, like I said, I wanted to make this or just kind of go on stream because I've noticed a lot of people are asking the same questions. I've noticed a lot of people are wondering the same things. I noticed a lot of people don't have that answer. And I would say, first off, here's some things I want you to get straight about money. No matter what, I want you to get this right about money. Is number one. Are you listening? Okay. Anyways, no, one, money is not for you to spend it on yourself. It is for you to use it as a vehicle to helping other people. And of course, it's also for you to take care of your necessary expenses and whatnot. But more than anything, I want you to see it as the ability to, let me extend this. Thank you. Oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna lock in and see if this thing will be my friend. Sorry guys, TikTok is playing with me. TikTokers, love y'all, but y'all are playing with me. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, making money is not about, oh my gosh, how can I buy this expensive thing? And I feel like I'm a broken record because I have to say this so many times, but truth be told, you have to continuously water a seed for it to be able to grow and produce fruit. So if you are not continuously hearing something, feeding yourself with something, believing in something, adhering to something, being fruitful in something, you can't not expect for it to produce and reproduce in your life. And where I've noticed a lot of you mess up is your problem is you believe if you try something once, then that's good enough. And it's not. Consistent persistence and resilience all work together to be able to create what you want to see, what you want to believe, how you want to live, all of that. CJ, how are you doing? How you doing? Everybody say shout out to CJ if you can. Facts. But no, yeah. So if you're not understanding that, if you're not like being able to swallow that, then I just want to make it very clear to you that you will probably never make another dollar in your life that makes sense for your life. If it's not to pay off a debt, if it's not to pay off a bill, if it's not to just take care of necessary expenses, you will probably never make another dollar in your life that will actually allow you to do what you want to do, because your mindset is already in the wrong place for you to do it, because you're more focused about making money to be able to flex on people, to be able to show the person that doubted you that they shouldn't doubt you anymore, to be able to tell the ex that thought you would never be anything that you're something, to be able to tell the parent who told you not to pursue that career that the career was going to work. So you just want to showcase these things for the validation of other people. And truth be told, if you're not confident in yourself, then let me tell you something, you need help, psychological. If you're not confident in yourself, if your whole reason for making money is to build validation from other people, I need you to pack a bag and just walk out. Actually, what I need you to do is get off the stream, because I don't even want you in here. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for me. It's a waste of time. Oh, they said hi, CJ, on Twitch. Hey, Destiny, how you doing? How you doing? V Zion said yes to the question. Okay. Let me see. Excuse me. I just need 5 figures for this deposit in 3 weeks. What's your best route for this solution with the working capital of 2K? Here's another thing that you should know about money that I've learned over the past decade. Not even necessarily over the past time that I've really made money, but over the past decade, what I have learned, you're gonna love this one, is you cannot chase money. Oh my gosh. You cannot chase money. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. No, but why do I say that? Because one, I see if your mindset is I need to make X amount of money in X amount of time, you are not the controller of time. Let go of that mindset, that mentality. It is a fallacy. You are not the determiner or the controller of your time. That is up to God. You wake up and you live given based off the situations that are placed in front of you, the opportunities that you were able to adhere to and access, but you do not control the time that is put in front of you. So when people say they want to make X amount of money in X amount of time, I always laugh, because the funniest part is you can struggle for 10 years and God changes it all in 2 days. All the money you missed out on in 10 years, you get one contract and boom, it brings everything back. All the opportunities you missed out on for 10 years, boom, they come back. So it's like, what I want you to get an understanding of is that you do not control time. So stop trying to make a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time. That probably to me is the most frustrating thing. I don't like it at all. Oh my gosh. Okay. Is it true your first 10,000 changes your views? Is that in dollars or your first 10,000 followers? I'm going to guess dollars. Your first 10,000 changes your views. What I'm about to explain and how I'm about to explain it might go over some people's heads. So truth be told, if you're not easy to digest information, don't listen at all. But here's how I think the 10,000, when people say you make your first 10,000, it changes the way you look at things. This is what I usually see happens to people. That's not what you think. See, most people think when you make your first 10,000 or you just make an insane amount of money that it's going to change you and your personality is going to change. You're going to become who you aren't. Let me tell you something, and I want you to listen closely. Money does not change you. It only amplifies who you already are. So if you are a selfish individual, you will just be even more selfish. You'll probably start amplifying your stubbornness, your bitterness. You'll be harder to help people. And then you'll start trying to hold the money. And when you try to hold the money, it's not going to be able to grow. You got to give to grow. How money changes people at $10,000 is because what I usually see happens is people start looking at themselves and feeling that they are above other individuals. And this is mainly if $10,000 is life-changing money for you. Some people might be 100,000, some people might be 50, some people might be 5,000. But if you came from, let's say, a povertized environment and your family never grew up seeing $10,000 liquid in the bank, then yes, for you, you're going to tell yourself, you're going to say, you know what? I have $10,000. I must be smarter than my parents. I must be smarter than everybody around me. I must be the smartest person in this room. And let me tell you something. If you're the smartest person in the room, please leave that room. So, wrong room. Am I from poverty? I'm not from poverty, so to say, but I did not grow up with extremely wealthy parents. My parents, they busted their butt to try and just keep a steady and stable foundation. They took advantage of opportunities, but we by no means had like money. I don't want to say we were like dirt poor, but we, there were times where yes, it would be a concern. Like maybe sometimes the light bill wouldn't be paid on time or whatever it is, because it couldn't be afforded. There's a lot of things that when you're growing up, you don't realize that, oh, we didn't have money until you get older and you realize it. But for me, I always had this vision that I wanted to truly create a better life for my parents. They're Nigerian immigrants. So I'm a first generation American. So I was the first one in my family really born in America. And because of that, I felt that like I really wanted to create a better life for them, because that in itself is a sacrifice. So who would I be if I can't provide a solution or reward for their sacrifice? So can a Nigerian in Nigeria do this too? I believe anybody can do anything that they set their minds to, truth be told. But, excuse me, I'm sorry. It's what happens when I drink water and I talk. It just do. Hello. I need to make money as fast as possible to carry on with God's will. What do you recommend? That you stop putting it in your own hands. If you're trying to carry on God's will, then the first thing you do is you relinquish. And you say, wait a second, God, I'm going to concede to allow you to succeed in my life. I'm going to surrender the ability of me believing that I'm a God and I have the control. The most you can do is work in accordance with the Holy Spirit within you. I'm a God girl, so you brought up that it's within God's will. So like this is from my belief, right? The most you can do is just work with friendship, read the word, pray with the word, practice the word, believe in the word, but understand you work like it's up to you, but you leave it up to God. But if your idea is I need to make money as fast as possible, God's never going to give it to you. Because let me tell you something, and I want you guys to really swallow this, understand this, apply it to your life. CJ, the roses, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. The roses, thank you. Thank you for the roses. Oh my gosh. But no, I want you to understand this when I say it, as I see a lot of people struggle with this issue, is if you do not already have something in your life, let me put it this way. You deserve nothing. You deserve nothing. You are blessed to have anything. So, TikTok, this is for you too. So, if you do not have something that you've already wanted or always wanted or whatever it is, it's because it is not your time to have it. If your mindset is still, I want to make as much money as possible and I want to make it as fast as possible, then God's gonna test your heart. What's your reasoning? Because if your reasoning is, I want to make as much money as possible and as fast as possible so I can further the will that God has for me, well, you already have failed, because the will that God has for you will be done. The Bible says, let thy kingdom come, thy will be done. So you allow his will to be done. You don't control that. Like that's what I want you to understand. Like for me, I have understood from a young age that one, we do have the ability to control our lives. Like, and I would say that I have done that a lot, but it's in accordance with the will of God. God may have you succeeding in the next 22 years. He may have you succeeding in the next 12 years. And some of you, that really angers you because you spend too much time watching other people online that have made a bunch of money or that have been a bunch of places, and you don't take time to appreciate the season God has you in because you're envying someone else's season. Why? Like, why? You know the first sign of envy we see in the Bible? It's in, I want to say Genesis 4 with Cain and Abel. Cain envies his brother and kills him. But let me tell you the part, and I'm not meaning to do some Jesus teaching, but I would be lying if I said that I had any of this without God. Like, it makes no sense. I became a millionaire at 19 years old. That's not normal. That does not happen to a lot of people. It happens to quite literally less than 1% of the general population of the earth. So I understand that because it's not normal, it's likely supernatural, which leads it back to God. But the craziest part is he told me it would happen. But we won't get into that right now. What I want to tell you is in Genesis, right before Cain killed Abel, God knew he was going to do it. He was like, brother, why your face looking like that? Because, okay, let me give you a little bit more context. So God told Cain and Abel to go and bring him fruit, not literally fruit, but bring him something, right? So he told them to go do their thing. So I believe Abel oversaw the animals and Cain oversaw the land. If you understand what happened at the very beginning of Genesis, then you will also understand that it was never, like Cain's crop was never going to grow because his father, hold on now, stay with me real quick. His father already had a curse put on him by God after he decided to eat the forbidden fruit. And God said, any land that you try to lay your crop will die. Meaning the father had a curse and now the son has to try and produce crop from a cursed generation. He has an opportunity to break this curse because when he comes back to God and God's like, I don't even want to see what you brought me because I could care less about that land because your father already sinned against me, so I don't want to listen to you. And Abel was like, God, look at these animals though. And God was like, my guy. So, hear me out now. So, when God is looking at Cain, he sees there's anger on Cain's face and he's like, Cain, why are you angry, bro? And he's like, you just like it. Anyways, so God tells him, he says, subdue your anger and control it. And I want to actually get the literal words he said, because, one thing I don't like to do is misquote the Bible. Yeesh. Let's see. Ooh, da-da-do. Okay, he said, this is Genesis 4:7. You will be accepted if you do what is right. Do you see how God gives him the opportunity to change the curse? He says, one, you will be accepted if you do what is right. Then he says, but if you refuse to do what is right, then watch out, because sin is crouching at the door, eager to control you, but you must subdue it and be the master. You are in control of your emotions. You are in control of your feelings. You are in control of your opportunities. You are in control of changing the generational curses that have been brought upon your family and your life, if they exist. But you cannot allow the feeling of greed and the validation of other people to overtake you so much that you miss the opportunity to change the blessing. God told him, you will be accepted. And he said, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. And Cain ignored him. And the next verse literally says, well, I guess the next two verses, because the next verse is one line. No, it's the next verse. The next verse, he kills his brother. He allowed his emotions to control him. He missed his opportunity, and he has to suffer for that. So before you ask yourself, how do I make a lot of money? You need to first ask yourself, what do I need to fix? What are the other things that I am serving? The other things that I'm making gods in my life? A lot of people online, it is validation. For me, I understand that when I put titles like this, you're going to be thrown in. You're like, well, I want to know how to make money. But first, I have to ask you, before you want to know how to make money and how to access and leverage the rooms and the areas in your life that you fully deserve, you need to ask yourself, where is your heart? Why do you want to do it? And be honest with yourself. Don't say it to me. You don't have to put in the comments and be like, oh my gosh, well, Kelly, I want to do it to help people. You ain't got to lie to me. If you truly want to make money because your dream car is a Bentley Bentayga GT, that's okay. Like, just say that. That's okay. But understand that it'll be much harder to get there because your heart is connected to a material thing that will always be temporal. Let me get back into these questions. Which script am I on? Oh, I'm not. Y'all thought I ain't on no script. I'm on that Jesus script, amen. Mystic Eve, we've missed you. Welcome, girl. How much did I spend studying trading strategies? $0. YouTube University is free. Like I said, we must be willing to leverage opportunities. Let me tell you an opportunity right now I'm happy that you're leveraging is this. Whether you're with me on TikTok, my TikTok folks, whether you're with me on YouTube or on Twitch, wherever you're at, is you're leveraging this opportunity to be able to ask what you can, and I'm going to try and get to as many as possible, but you actually do see yourself getting somewhere. But I've just noticed this common trend in people who get it the least are the people who want it the most. You're not supposed to crave something. A craving doesn't mean it's healthy. I crave sugar all the time. Shoot, Dubai chocolate has me in a chokehold right now, guys. I'll be honest with you. V Zion, type it. Type your thing. Jerry said, I'm 21 and I feel behind in life. Okay, for those of you, because this is very relatable. I mean, it was relatable to me when I was still younger, right? For those of you who feel like you're behind in life, please, can you give a little bit more context so we can dive into it? Because I know it's a common thing and I could easily be like social media, but I feel like I'd be wasting your time if you're listening to me say the things we already know. Let's dive deep into the things that we want to know so that we can actually fix them. Let's fix them. Tips on greed and fear. Before I do that one, I saw somebody ask, Chris said, when did you start feeling comfortable with spending your money? Like, did you see a number on your P&L that you felt like you gave the go-ahead to start making big purchases? Making big purchases was my downfall. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you the honest truth about when I first started making money. Nothing is my downfall in Jesus' name. Life and death is the power of the tongue, guys. We can't speak negatively. But when I first started making money, I mean, I've always been stingy, right? Like, not stingy like that, but just kind of like, I didn't really care to spend money because, like, I just wore, like, jackets every day, some shorts, some Vans. Like, I wore the same outfit, like, every single day. So, like, I didn't care to portray myself as a certain way. I didn't care to look a certain way. I didn't, like, the money was cool, but I was more in love with the craft that followed it. But I had $50,000, my first $50,000 that I'd made. I sent $1,000 each to my parents. I think I sent $100 each to my siblings. And then I tried to invest it and I got all types of scammed. I tried to do what I thought people knew or what people wanted you to do, right? So like I tried to invest in a gold mine, got scammed out of that. I tried to invest in some shoes. I didn't necessarily get scammed out of that, but my investment went down to nothing, okay? And so at that point, I was like, shoot, like, I don't really know what to do. But then I started seeing people online that were buying, you know, a whole bunch of designer and this, and that. And it was kind of like well, Kelly, if you're making money, then why aren't you buying these things? And I think I was like, wait a second. I could afford to buy these things. Because, like, this is early 2021. Making money online is a thing, but not really. And the whole designer phase, it's not really like a big thing. But it's a big thing for sure. Like, it's like, if you have designer, I know you got money, but like, if you don't, I'm not really looking for it. And I'm a college student. Like, I don't, what's the point of me having, I don't know. But anyways, I actually, when I bought my first piece of designer, it was at the Dior store. So I went to the Dior store and I saw this pair of Dior's. And I saw them and I was like, dang, I like these shoes. So I told the woman, I tried them on. She was like, thank you. And then she was like, can I see your card? And I was like, yeah. And I gave her the receipt. And then I gave her my card. And then she came back. She gave me the receipt. I walked out with my Dior bag. And I was walking out the store. And I walked out and I said, I don't even know how much that was. And anyways, it was like $1,100. But after that, it started down this rapid hole of buying so much designer. And when I tell you so much designer, I will tell you numbers if you want to know numbers, because I think transparency is key. But I won't tell you numbers to flex on you. Like, if you just want to know numbers just because you're curious, boom. But I'll show you numbers to show you waste. Because I think the true flex is when designer brands sponsor somebody. Like, I think, like, let me tell you something. Brunello Cucinelli, if you're watching this, I love you. But, like, if Brunello isn't watching, if anybody's watching, cool, I love you. But, like, when you were spending so much for the sake of impressing another individual, it's like when people go to the Met Gala, they get paid to wear those clothes. When people go to the Oscars, they get paid to walk these red carpets and wear this stuff. And the sooner you understand that, the less you go and try and show everybody that every single thing on you is a brand. And I know some of you are probably thinking right now, well, Kelly, you're wearing a Guess denim jacket. Yeah, it was $17 from Ross. But it looks fly, don't it? It's so comfortable, too. I'm like a fan of it. Ross. Love Ross. I love me some Ross, truly. But, yeah, I would tell you, when I was first buying the designer, since I wanted the numbers, I'll tell you some numbers. And some of these numbers will truly blow you away. And I'm not saying these numbers because I'm proud of these numbers. I got these thinking I needed to have these to look good to other people until I realized that it is not on you, it is in you. The light and the radiating shine that you have will be seen by the right people. And the people who don't like you because of your energy, if it is a radiating energy, are simply just jealous. They are. There are a lot of people on this planet that will hate to see you walk in a room, not because they don't think you're attractive, not because they don't think you look good, not because they don't like your energy, but because they know that you would take the spotlight off of them without even trying. But they have to try. And some of us, some of you, hopefully none of you claim this, you are the person that when someone else walks in the room, you kind of hate it. That you see videos like this and you kind of don't want to watch it because you don't want a reminder that you're not where you want to be. But I make these videos and I do these streams when I genuinely do not have to, because I know that it's ultimately going to help you. And that is like all that I really care about, genuinely speaking. Yeesh. But when I first started buying designer, I can't tell you what, like, I was spending so much money. I would spend like $3,000 on a Balenciaga sweater. I go on Balenciaga and I'd buy everyone, all my friends, I'd buy them some. And then I'd buy like people just my siblings, I'd always buy them something. I buy my mom and dad something, but that's just my heart. But for me, it was like $3,000 Balenciaga sweater, $5,000 Dior sweater. I'd spend $4,000 at Alexander McQueen. I'd be spending Louis V, like, I don't know why I'm spending so much at Louis V, but I wasn't even like buying clothes from there, mainly shoes. I was buying a whole lot of shoes, right? Business write-off or not, I think those are not financially savvy choices unless you're truly at a certain level that like means nothing. And truly, like, if you like it, do it, get it, spend it, buy it. But if, like I said, you have to know your heart. And It's crazy because I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you this for those of you who like to buy fake designer, which, you know, can be controversial in a sense. It can be an argued topic because it's like, on one hand, if you like it, buy it for sure. But then on the other hand, it's like, okay, so why are you buying this designer item if you can't afford it? Because you want other people to think you can afford it? Like when people buy Van Cleef bracelets because everyone else is wearing Van Cleefs and they don't understand Van Cleefs are $5,000 when everyone is wearing Cartier bracelets. I don't know if you've ever been in Cartier. Like, Cartier bracelets are so expensive. You will go there and you'll just see a regular, it'll be a bracelet like this, but let's just say it's all like just gold and then they'll have some diamonds. $38,000 for a bracelet? For a bracelet? Like, man, the money that people will spend. The worst purchase, this isn't the worst purchase. I mean worst in terms of price. I think it served me well in terms of just connections, but like I didn't need to spend all that to get there. Is like, for me, I can always tell when something someone's wearing is fake. I would never say anything about it. I don't really care. Like, to each their own, and to what, like, I'm never gonna be the person that's like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna talk to you, you're wearing fakes. I don't care. Like, I could literally care less. What is your heart wearing? Because it's one thing for you to cover up your body with a whole bunch of designer to try and put off an image that you aren't, but like, where is your heart? It's another thing to have a heart that is covered up as well, because you're trying to portray something that you're not. So, for me, when I see people, for example, in like Chanel, I don't know if you guys have ever like been to Chanel. I don't understand the prices, but like, to each their own, you know, like shout out Chanel. They make some amazing clothes, but sometimes I just don't understand it. Right? Because I won't tell you the price because I know social media will do me in for this one. But I went to Chanel and I remember I went in and I went to my girl, Vanessa. Everybody please say a prayer for my girl, Vanessa. Her and her family they just need some prayers. And I love my girl, Vanessa. She's awesome. She always takes care of me at Chanel. So I walk into Chanel and I see my girl, Vanessa. And I'm like, Vanessa, I'm going to be the host for the celebrity poker tournament. So because of that, can you help me figure out what clothes to wear? Like, I need clothes to just, like, they give talk show hosts. Like, they're fly. And she was like, girl, I got you. And Vanessa was not only, like, my private shopper, but she was also, like, my stylist. She was helping me put together clothes. And my sister was, too, and everything. And boom. So then we get probably, like, it was 9 pieces of clothing. I had a shirt. I had 2 dresses. I had 1 jacket. I had 2 skirts. Am I missing some? Yeah, and then I had, another 3 skirts, actually, and a 2-piece set. I was flying. Let me tell you something. Still have them. Let me tell you. Vanessa, my girl Vanessa, she said, is this what you want? I said, Vanessa, go ahead and put that thing in the bag. We taking it home. I was ready. I said, I'm going to Vegas tomorrow, and I'm going to be the flyest person at this celebrity poker tournament. Mm-hmm. Ooh-wee. So, that being said, Vanessa takes the clothes, and she goes, and she packages it all up. She puts it in the Chanel, everything, just puts it together. And it looks real cute. And she goes and she rings it up. And she goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Scans all of them. And then she says, all right, there's your total. Put your card in whenever you're ready. Kelly, you got this. And I'm like, I'm ready to go. So I go ahead and I pull my card out. And I'm like, girl, you can have this. And then I look at the price, and I look at Chanel. I said Chanel. I look at Vanessa, and I look at the price, And I look at Vanessa and I look at the price and I said, is this my order? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I said, Vanessa, you know what? I'm buying Chanel. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, this isn't the Benz dealership. And she's like, so, let me tell you something. Anyways, I put the card in. Shout out to Amex. It went straight through. But now when I see people wearing Chanel, I'm like, you know what? You got some money. You got some money because I could have bought a brand new Benz. That's all I'll say. But let me get to these questions. Let's see. Oh, y'all are still asking. Yes, thank you, Desmond, for sending prayers to Vanessa. Yes. You can't buy more time on your clock of life, max 100 years, and boom, you out of here. Yeah, guys, I think, let me tell you something. The best money you can spend is on experiences. Spend money on traveling. Spend money on traveling. Not only should you spend, let me tell you the top two things, and the only two things, well, not the only, but the top two things I think you should spend money on are trying new things. That might mean going new places. It might mean trying new restaurants. It might mean exploring places with different people, or giving to people. I want to take a second to really talk about this because I think the world has it really messed up. And if you would just hear me out for just a couple minutes here, let me explain my reasoning. The world has it really messed up that my most viral post on Instagram is me buying my dad a brand new, sorry, I was reading a comment. Anyways, my most viral post on Instagram is me buying my dad a Lamborghini for Christmas. Do I think that's beautiful? Absolutely. The problem is so many people were focused on the Lamborghini that they forgot the most important aspect, that it didn't have to be a Lamborghini. It didn't have to be a Ferrari. It didn't have to be anything crazy. All it had to be was the fact that I gave. Now, shout out to Charles, what I have found in this life, the most rewarding thing and the thing that will pay you back the most, and truly the reason why I think God has blessed me so much in this life, and I pray this prayer and these blessings over you as well, is that I had the ability to give. Not because I had, but because I didn't have. You see, when I was younger, my mother used to always tell me, if you don't give when you don't have, you won't give when you do. And I see people that have this warped mindset where they say, I don't have enough money, so I can't give. Let me tell you two stories. I'll tell you one about when I was 15 years old, and I'll tell you one about what happened 2 days ago. Number one, when I was 15 years old, I used to help my aunt take her kids to school. I would pick them up in the morning and then drop them off at school. Then I would go to school. Then after I left school, I would go pick them up from their school and then take them home. And then I would go home. And for doing that, she would pay me $30. Nice. $30 was cool, but by the time I ran out of gas, which was every other day because I was doing all that driving, that was the entire gas tank. Whatever. It is what it is. But I would take it and of the leftover, I had a little bit left over, I would save that. And every single Friday, I would do something called Free Food Friday. And I told myself in my head, I said, wait a second. If someone like really went crazy at McDonald's, some high schooler, the max is going to be like $20, $30. If someone really went crazy at a seafood restaurant, the max is going to be like $50. And I remember I had $130 at the time saved up. And I just told myself, I said, every single Friday, I am going to find 2 people randomly on Snapchat that I was just friends with. And I'll just make them do a game. Like, first person to tell me, hey, I'll buy you whatever food you want. Because one, you never know who is struggling. And the second high school I went to, the majority of the individuals that went there lived in mobile homes. And so, yes, you see people at school and they're wearing clothing, so you assume they're okay because there's a roof over their head currently. And when they go to the cafeteria, there's food for them to eat. But you never actually sit there and say, wait a second, do they have food at home? I didn't have money. I wasn't rich. Okay, I'm looking at it like if each of them asked for something that's $30, I'm getting taken down to $60. But for me, that sacrifice was more worth it to give to others than to myself. Because the only reason I'm alive today is because God loved the world so much that he did what? Gave. He gave the one thing that meant the most to him. And some of you feel like you can't give to somebody until you have $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million. You feel like you can't donate to a charity until you have $1 million to donate 100,000. Like, some of you get mad at celebrities and these big billionaires because you say, well, why don't they stop world hunger? When was the last time you donated to a world hunger organization? When was the last time you saw someone on the street that was angry and instead of getting irritated that they didn't address you, you stopped and had a conversation and said, hey, can I grab you something to eat? I noticed you're upset. When was the last time? 2 days ago, me and my friend went to go get Dubai chocolate because like Dubai chocolate has me in a chokehold. Like the TikTokers got me. You got me, guys. So frick, I've been eating so much Dubai chocolate, but it's okay. After I got Dubai chocolate, I went to this gyro spot. They had really fire like gyro rice bowls, and it was healthy. And like, I'm kind of on my healthy thing right now, if you can't tell. But I got it, and I only had a couple bites because I was full off the Dubai chocolate and the Dubai strawberry cup I had. And the chocolate and the strawberry cup for me and my friend was a total of $63. Then I got 2 more chocolate bars, and they were $23. That's way too much money to spend. I had to actually tell myself to calm down. Total, what is that, $86? Lord have mercy. And then the gyro was $15. So we're looking at me spending $101 on food in a 4-hour span. Cool. I didn't finish my gyro. So I'm driving home. It's a 40-minute drive home. I've been driving all day. Like literally since 9 a.m. that morning, I'd been out driving because I had to go to therapy. Then I had an appointment. Then my appointment had so many issues. The appointment was an hour away. Then I was an hour away from the Dubai location. Anyways, so I went there. And after I'm driving home, it's a 40-minute drive home. I'm like, dang, this is some driving. I'm thinking about the fact I'm about to have to buy gas. And I'm just like, okay. So as I'm about to come to my home, as I'm about to arrive home, I'm driving up. And I see this homeless guy, and he's staying with his dog. And, you know, the funny thing, this is a great thing, actually, because I'm such a giver, is I was like, is that the same one I gave to last time? Because, like, I like to do it, and I like to talk to them, have a cool conversation with them. I don't think any person that is homeless is below me. I don't think anybody that makes more money than me is above me. At the end of the day, we are all people. We all have hearts. Your life could change in an instant. You could be broke tomorrow. You could be rich tomorrow. So you should never look at anybody for what they have, but who they are at the core of it and what they have been through as well, because that's a determining factor of a lot. So I pull up, and I actually notice it's not the guy, but this one, he has a dog, and he has a sign, and it says, I just want to eat. And I was like, I said, dang it. Because in my passenger seat, I have these 2 Dubai chocolate bars that I have been craving. And then I got this gyro bowl that I'm super excited for. And I'm like, ooh. I'm so excited to get home. I'm like 3 minutes from home. I'm about to eat it. And then I see the sign. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, dang, I'm going to have to give him this food. I was like, no, I'm not trying to give him this food. Then I was like, oh my gosh, like I just spent so much for this food and like, you know, like, oh my gosh. And then I thought about it for a split second. Let me tell you something. It probably wasn't even me that thought about it. It was probably God that thought about it and put the thought in my head. As I said, you know what's crazy is I'm about to go to one of the most expensive apartment buildings in the city. And I'm about to drive up and hand valet my keys to one of my several cars. I have way too many cars. And then I'm going to have them buzz me up the elevator so I don't have to press it myself. And then I'm going to arrive. And as I arrive, I'm going to come here with my floor to ceiling windows in this place that is just, it's a gorgeous place. It's just a very gorgeous place that I pay a lot of money for. And then I'm going to walk in and I'm going to go to my fridge that's stuffed with food and I'm going to add it to the amount of food. I have all these leftovers from when I went to brunch with the girls. Then before that, I went to brunch with my other homegirls. And then before that, I had some food from whenever I went out with my family, that whenever my friend was. So I'm looking at my to-go and I'm going to put it in my to-go and I'm going to eat it tomorrow. And I'm going to have the ability to eat whatever I want. I'm going to come and I'm going to open the fridge and I'm going to be like, which leftovers do I want? Or maybe I'm going to open the freezer and see a packed freezer and decide what to eat. But this man on the side of the road does not know when his next meal will be. And I have options. And let me tell you where people get it messed up is this is the mindset people have towards homeless people. And let me tell you something. Let me be very honest with you. And this is going to hurt some feelings. But let me tell you, I do not care. A lot of you, let me not speak that over you. Some of you, in my eyes, let me not say you, I don't believe anybody watching this is like that. Some people are so poor. In my eyes, you're more poor than the average homeless individual. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what crib you live in. I don't care what clothes you wear. Some of you are so poor that all you have is money. All you have is money. And so what happens is you drive up and you see a homeless man and you say, I'm not giving him money. He's probably going to use it on drugs. You want to know what the number one addiction in America is? The number one drug in America? You want to know? You'd be so shocked. You ready? You ready for this? Glucose. Sugar is the number one addiction in America. We are number one in the world for obesity. I've been to so many other countries, and unfortunately, well, let me not be unfortunate for them. Unfortunately for America, I haven't seen anybody bigger than the average American. But then you sit there and you say, if I give this homeless person money, they're going to spend it on crack. They're going to spend it on, well, I don't know if I can say these words, but they're going to spend it on drugs. That's what you tell yourself. So because of that, you feel like, I'm not going to give it to him. And some of you, let's be very real. Some people will tell themselves, I'm not going to give this money to this homeless man because they're going to spend it on drugs. And then they're going to get home and then call up their dealer and ask for some wheat. Nah, Kelly, you didn't go there. You didn't go there. I went there. So when I went there, I said, you know what? I said, God, you blessed me with so much. And I know that the large reason why God has blessed me is because I've always been a giver. I believe that's the only reason you should make money is to none of the money I have is mine. And that's where a lot of you have it confused, is none of the money you have is yours. You are just a steward of a gift that was given to you. And some of you, the reason why your money doesn't seem to grow is because you won't stop being stingy with it. You won't stop saying you want to save every dollar. Regulated goods content. See, this is the problem. Who's saying bad words in here? They've restricted the live now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, because I said drugs. I said drugs. Oh, I said it again. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. No, forgive me, guys. Forgive me, I'm sorry. This is why you can't say certain things. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to end the live stream. Okay, I'm not talking about it no more. Dang. TikTok is being mean to me right now. Come on, TikTok. I'm not talking about it no more. But anyways. So, spell out some of the words. W33D. Nah, it's cool. The right people that are meant to see this will see this. But anyways, What I'm saying is, so I pull up to the guy, and I'm like, what it do, homeboy? And I actually made a whole U-turn, and I came to him, and I said, what are you hungry for? And he was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, what are you hungry for? He was like, I really like Burger King. And I was like, what do you like from Burger King? He was like, well, I really like the Whopper. I said, okay, you like the Whopper. What do you like to drink? He was like, Dr. Pepper. And I was like, kind of like the way you get down. So anyways, cool. So I drive to Burger King, and I'm like, can I get the brisket Whopper? Can I get the double Whopper? Can I get the regular Whopper? The guy's like, dang, this for you? I said, don't ask any more questions. Can I get large fries? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, can I get a Hershey pie? He's like, yeah. And I was like, thank you. Anything else? A large Dr. Pepper. Make sure it's extra crispy. He said, the fries? I said, both. He said, okay. Boom. So then I pull up. No problem. I'll pull up. And, he's like, I'm like, what's the total? He said, $36.73. I didn't even think twice about it. I don't care if I didn't have the money. This is where a lot of people are going to get it mistaken. They're going to say, well, Kelly, you have money. So this, like, you can do that. No. How many of you could afford $36 right now? And probably will if you go out to eat with friends tomorrow. Do you have to be rich to buy food for somebody? You'd be shocked. Some people think you do. Some people think you do. There was an accident outside my window today, so I thought there was another one. Let me tell you something. I gave him the 3 burgers, the fries, because in my head I was like, I could buy you 1 burger, but like you're gonna finish it and then you're gonna be hungry tomorrow. So I want something that you can probably eat tomorrow as well, or like later on in the night or something. But I want you to be able to like eat well, because I can eat well. There's sometimes I went to dinner and spent thousands of dollars at dinner. And it's like, I don't say these things to you guys ever for you to feel like, oh my gosh, like, oh, Kelly's just trying to tell us how much money she has. No. I say it because if somebody doesn't tell you, you won't know how to handle it. And if you don't change your mindset now, you'll never be able to grow it. And a lot of people have a poverty mentality, and they feel if I give too much, I may never get back. Which is crazy, because take away the Bible, an active law of life is do unto others as you want done unto you. Give, and it will come back to you. Shake it down, run it over. The Bible says give, and God will give back to you abundantly. Not just the same amount. He'll get back to you more. And it's like, I want you every single time that you do see somebody in need, that you do see somebody upset, that you can see an ability to be a blessing. I need you to ask yourself, is this a test to see if I can handle the rest? Because let me tell you something. If you want to tell me, like, let's take a common example, right? Everyone will ask me, Kelly, can you trade for me? Because I'm known for being in the trading world. So they'll always be like, Kelly, can you trade for me? Can you trade for me? Can you trade for me? So let's say I asked you to trade for me. I wanted to give you money. I want you to go invest it. I want you to bring me back more money. I'm not going to start with $1 million, because what if you lose it? You know what I mean? But I'm like, I do have some trust in you that I think you can go, and I believe you will be able to make me some money. So instead of giving you $100,000, let me test you with 1,000. And if I give you 1,000 and you grow the 1,000, cool. That's great. So maybe next time I give you 5,000, I'm going to test you again. and you come back with 3,000. I'm like, nice. So this time I give you 10,000 and you come back with 4,000. Cool. And then I give you 20. But you see how the more that I give to you and the more you bring back to me, like you keep passing the test, the more I'm going to keep giving. But some of you, God is like, here's $1,000 and you say, thank you. And then he's like, wait, so I gave you $1,000 to see if you could handle $1 million. And you just kept $1,000. And you're like, yes, because God, you don't understand. Like, I've always been struggling to be able to pay the bills. And I've always been struggling to like do this. And I know I should probably give to this person, but they don't know what I'm going through. And how am I supposed to pay my rent if I'm giving to this person who's also in need? And God's like, because that was a test. See, what you didn't see is if you would have taken 1,000, and even if you would have taken 200 of that 1,000 and you would have given it to somebody, God would have been like, wow, I can trust her. I can trust him. Nice. Let me now go and give back 2,000. I want you guys to like genuinely think in your head, like genuinely think in your head of the people you know that are the most successful and ask yourself what their hearts look like. Successful doesn't mean financially. I want to go ahead and put that asterisk. Success might mean they have a good family, they're in a great relationship, they're always happy, they're good at almost everything they do. You're like, how is this person so good? And I want you to look at the way they treat other people. Like, I want you to genuinely think of it, because I found that most people that are struggling are trying to skip the necessary lessons you have to go through. That's like being really skinny and you want to get buff. So you just try to inject steroids. Okay, we'll see the effects of that one, buddy. Oh my gosh, they're going to ban me for saying that word, aren't they? TikTok already banned me earlier. I just got off ban. Thank you, TikTok, for appealing my ban. Mwah. But no, yeah, so I want to take this second. I want you to genuinely ask me the questions you genuinely have, because I see very few people become so scary when it comes to talking about money. And I understand why someone would be scared about money, because they're scared of what you think about them. But I've never seen anybody really scared to talk about the amount of money Mr. Beast gives away. I don't see Mr. Beast like, yeah, we gave the winner a large sum of money. I don't really want to talk about it. Because when you understand that money is just a vehicle, then you don't care to let that thing fly. I'm not going to keep a car that's parked when I know the car can go 200 miles an hour. I'm going to let it run to its full potential on a racetrack, of course. Don't be doing that in the street. Don't do that in the street. But I want you to genuinely, and like, even if it's $10, I want you to at least experience the feeling. And I promise you it's greater than any other feeling. There's times I've been at restaurants and I have, honestly speaking, I have tipped people their tuition. And I'll tell you this, I haven't been operating my business for a year and a half. And I've never been like stressed about money. I've been stressed about a lot of things, but money has never been my concern. And my team will be like, well, Kelly, like, we're not making money. And I'm like, yeah. They're like, do you think we'll still be good to operate? And I said, even if we run out, like, for me, and I tell my team this all the time, I say, I will go dead broke as long as it means you guys are fed. Because for me, I don't control the money that comes in. Like, obviously, you can supplement it. You can have really good marketing. You can have a really good product. But at the end of the day, it's not up to us whether our product gets seen or our product blows up. Like, that's just my thing. Oh my gosh, TikTok's gonna get mad at me for saying TikTok. Don't do me. How do I appeal this hater energy that they, let's see. TikTok, be nice. But no, like, and I know, mods, I need y'all to put together a list of words that you just can't have me say. But I need y'all to truly understand that like, I don't know, once you kind of, you let go of wanting money, it's like it runs after you. Like you will always be taken care of. Like I don't know how to explain it. I can just tell you I've lived it. Hopefully I explained it enough. But like, if I was to grow a small account, I wouldn't go options trading anymore. I'd go Forex. Even though that's not what mine is saying to me right now. What are my thoughts and opinions on prop firms? I don't like them at all. I don't like prop firms at all. Even when people are struggling, it's good to give what you can. It perpetuates. Okay, let me tell y'all a secret. Let me see how many people are in here. I'm going to tell you a secret. I couldn't sleep last night. I could not sleep last night. I would literally just lay in bed like this. And I would try and close my eyes. And there was this stinging sensation on my heart that I need to do something. And I'm going to tell you what it is. I won't spoil it too much, but I want you to learn from this story, and I want you to listen closely to this story, genuinely, and I'm being honest. I was watching a documentary yesterday that my sister sent me. Love my sister down. She's so amazing. Truly do love her. She's like one of the smartest people I know. I'm probably smarter than her, though, so that's why she's one of. But anyways, she sent me a documentary, and I won't spoil it because, I just won't spoil it for now. But when things are more in place, I'll tell you guys more about it and what it was. But basically, in this documentary, there were these individuals that have just been struggling through life for the past 40 years. They've been struggling, and they're now at the age of 70 years old. And some of the things they said throughout this documentary, I don't want to spoil it because I want you to watch it, but I also want to be a little hush-hush about it for right now. Because it's actually, struggling there. It's a scientific and statistical fact that whenever you announce that you've done something, your brain tells yourself that you're already 50% done. Or you're going to do something. So if I tell you guys, I have this great idea. I think what if I got 2 cars and I raced them? What do you think about that idea? So it's now in my head, I'm well, I basically already got in the cars. And that's a problem, so I don't want to say it too early. But anyways, excuse me, I'm sorry. In this documentary, the woman keeps stating that she feels like she's a failure because in the time where she was struggling and she was, her family was kind of in a impoverished state, she kept just having faith and believing in God and telling her kids, it's going to work out, it's going to work out. And she just kept having faith. And she had so much faith. And she just kept believing that it was going to be possible. So for her, she felt like she was a failure because, 10 years later, her life hadn't changed. 20 years later, her life hadn't changed. 30 years later, her life had gotten worse. 40 years later, it's still nowhere near where she thought it'd be. And she was wow, I always told the kids that this would happen, but it didn't. And one of the things that stood out to me amongst this couple or this family was that they had such insane faith. When 40 years before, when they were struggling, they had faith they'd make it out. 40 years later, while they're still in a struggle, in a position where they're struggling, they still had faith that they would make it out. Something in them kept saying, we will make it. It will all work out. I don't know, for some reason, I know that God will make it work. And even at a point, the interviewer was all right, you, I know you believe that God will do something miraculous, but what do you have to say now for the fact that nothing has changed? And they're at the end of the day, whatever, your life is not in your control. And we know that God will still work it out for us. And I am so inspired by this level of faith because it's nothing in the world makes any sense. There's nothing that is showing things are heading in a positive direction for you. And economically, the world is not getting any better for you at all. So it's like, how do you keep this faith and belief that it's going to work out? And I'm just watching this video or this documentary, and it's just pouring on my heart and pouring on my heart and pouring on my heart. And God starts speaking to me, and he tells me, you need to help this family. And I'm like, what? I ain't opposed to it. Let me tell you something. I'm a giver, so you can't even make me second guess giving. Unless, like, you know, I got to see where someone's heart is at, obviously. But it's like, the kids were talking about their parents, and they're like, you know, our parents haven't been on vacation since 1995. They haven't been like stress-free for a long, like they've been struggling for a long time. And for me, I was like, you know what? I need to change this family's life. Not because, like, this is not for my glory at all. Like, I could care less about whether or not y'all think I'm cool, whether or not y'all like me. I genuinely don't care. But for me, when God spoke to me about them, I think what was crazy is, one, I was like, not only am I going to go and, one, here's ultimately my plan is I want to be able to, I'm going to trade for a certain period of time, and every single dollar that I make from trading, I am giving to this family. So whether it's going to be $10,000, whether it's going to be $20,000, $15,000, $30,000, every single dollar I'm giving to this family. And not only that, but I don't want a lot of people in this, because I'm hoping there aren't a lot of people in this live, honestly, because I really, like, I don't even want y'all to clip this. Please don't do that, because I just want it to go as it's supposed to go. But not only that, but I want to be able, not even I want to, I'm going to put them on a first-class vacation anywhere they want. If they have their passports, just tell me the destination. If they want to stay in America, just tell me in America. And like first class, the best of the best, 5-star on top of that, giving them money to be able to be good. And I'm not saying this so you will sit there and be like, Kelly, you're so amazing, because this isn't me, it's God. But I'm saying it to say, because one thing I realized is I was in my head like, oh my gosh, like, God, this is what I'm going to do for them. Is, one, I couldn't sleep last night because I kept praying that God would allow them to be able to stay alive long enough for them to be able to truly experience this, for them to be healthy enough to be able to enjoy it. But the craziest part to me was, I said, God, you know what's crazy? Is so many people want their success to happen tomorrow, want their blessing to come next week. And as insane as it sounds, some people may not want to believe this, but you can go 70 years struggling. 70 years. And there comes one little 23-year-old girl that's watching a documentary on her phone while getting her hair done that says, I am going to bless this family for all the struggle they went through for the past 70 years. And to me, I just said, wow. Because the problem is, some of us are so addicted to time. And what really motivated me from this family was not like, it wasn't like they've just been struggling. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that struggle. It was the faith aspect. At a point, they opened a church, and they were talking to their accountant, and their accountant was like, love your faith in God, but let's be real, you can't afford your church. You're paying for your church out of your own pocket. The pastor's salary and the pastor's wife's salary is paying for the church. This isn't profitable for you. But they never lost faith. They never lost faith. And some people will say, oh my gosh, Kelly's always talking about God. Like, bro, shut up about God. You're always talking about God. And I'm like, well, when you've lived the life I've lived and you've seen the things I see, you can only say it's God. And a lot of you are going to understand that for yourself soon too. Is the things that start to happen in your life don't make sense. You don't really understand how they're happening. You don't really understand. Starts to feel a little too coincidental. My desk tried to break on me. But it starts to feel a little too coincidental. You start to feel like, that doesn't make sense. I think it's always crazy when you look at the most riveted man in the Bible, Abraham, God's best friend. I was God's best friend. And the craziest part, and it's like, I don't ever try to make these sermons, but I just always say this because the craziest part is like, it's just a natural part of me. But Abraham was God's best friend, and it was God that blessed him at the age of 100 with a son. His own wife didn't believe it. His own wife was like, God's going to give me, like, I'm going to get pregnant, a baby at 100. Do you know how old I am? I'm old and wrinkly. I can't carry a kid. 100? You go sleep with our servant. Like, don't even, she's young. She can produce a baby. What do you mean God can produce a baby? That's some people today. Is like, you try and tell them, well, it is because of God, It is because, like, I don't sit here trying to preach to you. I'm just telling you my life. And like, you turned $26 to 26,000? Yeah. No, you didn't. Okay. What do you want me to say? Like, okay. It sounds insane. God, you became a millionaire in a year at 19 years old? Yeah. No, you didn't. Okay. What do you want me to say? Wait, the first video you posted went viral overnight? Yeah. And it never stopped going viral? No. What other platform went viral? Every other platform. Every platform? Yeah. Like what? I mean, Instagram and YouTube, we have 400,000 subscribers. I mean, that's insane. And Twitter, I don't post on there too often, but we have about 40,000 followers. My Instagram has 107. No, it doesn't. What'd you do? You like bought them? I ain't buy no followers. Nah. Oh, it's God. Like, what do you want me to say? I don't know how it happened. I don't know. So it's like, I don't say these things because I'm trying to get you to give me offering or something, right? I just say it because it is what it is. And I'm saying that to say that some of you in your life, you have that Sarai, that was her name at the time, where they're telling you, like, God told you to give to these people. Why don't you just donate to a charity? You could do way more if you just donated to a charity. You can touch way more people. And I'm like, but God told me these people. No, you could just donate to a charity. And you can read the story of Abraham. It is a phenomenal story. His entire family lineage goes on to be blessed. But you will see the way that him listening to Sarai, and he actually went to go sleep with the servant, just not destroyed, but threw off the course of the blessing he was supposed to have. And that's why when you feel it in your heart and you feel like you're being led to do something, do it. Go all in it. But like, I want to, as I get closer to that point, and I genuinely mean when I get closer to that point, I want to, danga. I want to, have, whether it's more people contribute to just blessing this family. I think that faith is the easiest thing to say and the hardest thing to do. And when you actively see somebody practice it for decades on end, I mean, that's just something that can't be ignored. And some people they believe that it is in their vision to post content online and blow up online, and that is a part of their purpose. And they post one video and it gets 300 views and they give up. Talk about faith, you know what I mean? Some of you said, Kelly, calm down. You ain't gotta say that. Some of you felt that you should start a business, and the craziest part is you told yourself, you said, okay, I'm going to start this business, and the business didn't do $1 million in the first year. It didn't even do 6 figures. Matter of fact, it ran a loss, so you quit. Crazy, I tell you. It's crazy, I tell you. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I've been trying to exercise patience and trust in God's time. I've been waiting and looking for a legitimate trading course for nearly 4 years. I got to tell you, like, I know you're waiting on a course. My personal opinion, YouTube University while you can. A lot of times the opportunity is right there and we want it to be handed to us versus seeking it. Right? And if we even look at it biblically, one thing about me, is I always look at things from a biblical standpoint. It's the Bible says, seek and ye shall find. And a lot of you are waiting so it'll come to you. You got to, and I mean this in the nicest, most humblest, but most honest way, because I care about you, and lying to you would be hurting you. I know you want some this packaged together, and in this case, it's trading. In other cases, it's other aspects of life. It's like, I know it's what you want. I know it's what you feel, but do not abandon the resources in front of you. YouTube Universities, YouTube videos. It means go watch all those YouTube videos. Like, go watch all those YouTube videos. Like, I don't know. I always think that it's kind of weird that God put me in the business of helping other people make money because, like, you can ask anybody around me, Kelly, I don't value the money to the extent that people think the money is valued at. You know what I mean? Like, I don't sit and say, how do we make the most money from doing this? Like, I don't care about that. Like, so it's always hard when I just saw a comment that said, like, how could I make 4 figures consistently? And I could definitely tell you that easy. I mean, trading is going to be such a pivotal turning point for a lot of people financially, especially in the way I want to come back and do it. But, you know, for now, I'm like my trading university quite literally isn't out. So like YouTube University is the best thing I can recommend to you right now, until I have a better answer. But what I don't want you to do is be in a situation to where you put too much emphasis and too much pressure on the money to make something work for you. And, you know, let other people be mad at it. Let other people tell you differently. Let other people call me whatever they want to call me. But, yeah, at the end of the day, like I always believe once you stop focusing on the money, it just absolutely, I can't even say like follows you tremendously. And I know it's hard because, you know, some people are really in debt, but I think like, one, you obviously have to own up to the decisions that you've made in life and like try your best to make those ones work out and genuinely try your best, but have the faith. Have the faith that it will work out, you know? But, yeah, I don't know. For me, I think I'd be doing you a disservice. We're going to wrap this up in a second here though, guys, because I want to go to, I have a Bible study and, I want to be able to go to that. It starts in about 10 minutes, but we can take the next couple minutes to truly answer your questions. And, you know, that'll also help me figure out how I can help you if I can help you. And, you know, my biggest thing is I just ask that you continuously don't lose faith in yourself. Don't lose faith in me. You know, unfortunately online, I don't have a bad rep. I have a great reputation online, but there are people who want to tear down my shine, which is cool. I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, everything I have is not because I just am just the greatest, smartest, most wise person on this planet. I'm still learning every day. I still get humbled a lot in life, but everything I have is because of God. So like, I never do the comments affect me sometimes. It's normal. Like, I might be like, dang, because it's like, I know who I really am, but at the same time, It's like there's people online that'll call me all sorts of things. They'll call me a scammer. They love that one. Um, they'll tell me I lie about my age. That's like the number one that they really like is like, they're like, she's lying about her age. To me, I just love it because I'm like, dang, I'm that wise that you think I'm your peer. Shout out, homie. you know? But yeah, I just like, I think that my key word for this year, this is my word of the year. I usually, when it gets put on my heart, I come up with a word of the year. And my word of the year this year is intentionality. I like to believe that intentionality creates the best reality. The more you are intentional with the things you do, the more results you breed from it. I think a lot of people, this is a lot of people's issues, is they think consistency is everything when intentionality is everything. You have to be intentional to even be consistent. You have to be intentional to even breed any types of results. All right, let's get to these questions. Let's see. Is it hard being Black online? No. Like, I think it's all about how you position yourself, which is where I think PR needs to be something that's offered to more people. And if you think you're pretty good at PR, this might be something that you market yourself as. But I think that the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you position yourself online is what matters over the color of your skin. Because the most followed person on TikTok is a Black man. Coincidentally, he doesn't speak, but I just, I don't, yeah, I'll actually be honest with you. I think that's this. Okay, I was about to say something really mean. It's not mean, but I think that's a very dumb question. I think when you start to place limitations on yourself, you've already failed. When your limitation is age, when your limitation is gender, when your limitation is race, you've already failed because you need to tell yourself, how do I become an outlier in a situation that many people might struggle with, in your head. But like when you start saying like, it probably won't work for me because I'm this. Yeah, it probably won't. Just go ahead and sit down. Let somebody else get the throne because you clearly don't deserve it because you don't believe that it's possible for you. So stop letting the fact that you're a girl or the fact that you might be fat to yourself or the fact that you might think you're ugly or the fact that you might think that you are Black or the fact that you might think that you are Hispanic or whatever. Stop making that be the reason that you stop doing what you're trying to do. Be the reason that other people that look like you can believe it's possible. Best businesses to start with $1,000. Whatever is aligned in your purpose and you are passionate about, and you could do even if you didn't make $1 for the next year. I like any business you go into is going to take proper education, and like I could tell you different ones, but I don't want you to go after something because of the money. I want you to go after it because you're good in it, you're skilled at it, and you have the ability to grow in it. When you're withdrawing your funds from trading, how do you go about funding your other businesses? What's the smartest way to manage my money regarding taxation? B-Wall, you're not going to like me because I see you asked this many times, but I'm not a tax accountant. So it's up to your priorities. Like the money I make from other things, a lot of times, like everything I do just goes back into funding the business. Like as long as my basic living expenses are taken care of, and if my family is able to eat and like they're able to take care of themselves or like everything's good with them, then like everything else goes towards, I'm not on this earth because I am just a sole human being who needs to go through the motions in life. I'm on this earth because I have a purpose that I need to fulfill so somebody else can also discover their purpose, fulfill it, and then be able to impact and help other people. So, your priorities are your priorities. My priorities is just to be a vessel. Like I understand, like I am a spirit that is in a human. And because of that, I have to make sure this human does what this human needs to do to make sure that other people are impacted positively. Which is why I always say, like, I deserve nothing, and I'm not entitled to anything. I'm not entitled to respect. I'm not entitled to honesty. I'm not entitled to kindness, but I will continue to put those things out in the world and seek those things from other people based off how I carry myself. It's so hard living in Africa and trying to be a content creator. The local shepherd says I'm working for the devil because I'm on the internet. Yeah, again, I would just take that to God, and like whatever you feel is for you shall be for you, you know? Like some people just don't understand a lot of things, and that's fine. But yeah. I've been struggling to come out of my shell after losing 100K. I feel you on that. It's made me really scared to try again. I feel stuck. Right now, I'm channeling all my energy into my passion for fashion, but I'm unsure how to move past this fear. Do you have any advice on how to rebuild confidence and take the next step? Forget the money. And when I say forget the money, is you have to eventually say, okay, I lost $100,000. It is what it is. How do I go make it back 10? Like times 10. But if you keep telling yourself, like, I can't do it because what if I lose 100K again? Yeah, you're going to lose it again because your mindset's not even trying to look at what did you do to lose it? How can you prevent that from happening? How do you accept your loss? Give yourself the grace that you didn't know, or maybe you were careless with the money, or maybe you were like, I don't know how you lost it, but like, then you have to just say, it is what it is. Me thinking about the money, spending more time wondering what happened with the money, me spending more time beating myself up over the fact I don't have the money is not going to bring the money back. So the best thing you can do is say, let me take this loss, use it as a lesson, and then use it to leap deeper into the things I need to do in my life. So I'd say it's all a mindset thing, but you have to accept, like, you're going to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars to make millions. You know, you're going to lose money, whether that's on the research and development aspect, whether that's just on carelessness. A lot of times you just don't know. But yeah. DV Will, thank you. That's so sweet. But no, you got this, Grace Over Efforts, and I pray that you got this too. Like, don't sweat too much about it. Don't stress too much about it. You got this. You know, it's a normal thing, but I'd say, like, just don't keep thinking about it and you will be good. Do you think it's a good idea using my audience as a place to express myself and vent? Because the people in school bully me and call me Smelly Stewart, and I feel alone. I don't think that you should vent to random strangers on the internet. I think discernment is a very important thing. You don't know who these people are online, and you may vent. There was a girl who vented. I remember she told a story about she went to the gym and her and her gym crush were getting along, and then she told him how comfortable he made her, and then he started talking to someone else and she was crying in the gym and all this stuff, and like the internet bullied her for that. Like they just attacked her, you know? Like they just attacked her, but that's terrible. I don't think they should do that, but discernment is key. And, the Bible says that you should seek wisdom from the wise and seek wise counsel. And so I don't know that putting your internet or your business on the internet is of a wise decision. I think what you should do is take time to write out how you truly feel and write out what makes you special, and remember that you are. And I'm going to say this to you. I want you to truly, because I've seen a couple of your comments, and I think you spend way too much time beating yourself up than you need to be, because I think one of the biggest misconceptions I see a lot of people struggle with is you believe that for some reason you're not societally accepted because you're not in the same tax bracket as certain individuals. You're not in the same attraction bracket as certain individuals based off what society thinks is super pretty. Let me tell you as straightforward as it is. If you look at white Americans, their beauty standard is Victoria's Secret supermodel, super skinny, and are on very strict diets. If you look at black Americans, their beauty standards are going to be thick women that have big butts. It is two different standards. Because of that, the world is going to constantly value different people at different times. One day they like you, the next day they hate you. It's just what it is. They used to not like when men were buff. Now they love when men are buff. It's like you can't you can't try and please the world, but you have to build confidence in yourself. And where you constantly mess up is you let other people's opinions dictate who you are. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are beautiful. When you walk in a room, you need to understand that you are the most powerful person in that room, not because you treat people as if they are less than you, but because you can treat people kindly and still be at the highest level possible in life. And that's where people get it wrong, is they think putting other people down will make them feel better, which just shows how insecure you truly are. So I want you to remember, with every single room that you enter, that you are the prize of that room. Let your light shine, and do not be afraid to show it. Do not be nervous to show it. Do not tell yourself that you're not good enough for it. Do not tell yourself that you can't make something happen because somebody else didn't believe in you. You don't need the opinion of other people. It literally doesn't matter. So stop searching for it. And that's the last time I want you to ask me any type of question about other people putting you down. Genuinely. But alrighty, guys. From cooking recipes to daily blogs to advices to any skill. Oh, TikTok's getting mad at me. TikTok, why are you always getting mad at me? Like, please. TikTok. Okay. Whoa. Nin. See, what we don't have to do is spam comments, please. You've been watching random videos. We'll start it where you're struggling with. If you're trying to figure out where to start with something, start with where your first question is. If your first question is, I don't understand how it works, search up, how does trading work? If your question is, I don't understand technical analysis, search up how to trade technical analysis and watch them. Why Forex over options? Because you don't have to worry about the Greeks. That's not how I feel right now. Those things making me upset. Ooh-wee. But yeah. I didn't play the poker tournament. I was just talking to the peoples. I was interviewing the celebrities. I wasn't playing. Is trading all about luck? No, it's about skill. Not for me today, though. Anyways, if you don't mind, I would like to say a prayer before I hop on out of here so I can get to church. But yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna keep it real with you. If you believe for any reason that you are capable of doing what you would like to do, what you want to do, but what you believe you can do, then there's no reason you should give up on it. And the biggest lesson of over all of this that I want you to believe in more than faith. Hey, mods, can you please deal with what needs to be dealt with? But yeah, if you for any reason truly believe that you are capable of doing what's possible, do it. And if you can be a blessing, I'm not even gonna say if you can, you will be a blessing to other people. You will be the person that will help other people. Not when you become super rich, but right now. When you walk outside and you see someone struggling, you will help them. Because you will understand that that is a test. That is a test from the Most High. It is a test from your purpose. It's a test from where you're going to go, asking you, are you capable of receiving the things that I have placed before you? And if you are not capable of receiving those things, then you will do exactly what you've always done. And you will ignore the person that needs help. And you will ignore being a blessing in a situation. And because of that, it won't work for you. But yeah. So With that being said, my question is, if you were not a Christian, can I please pray for you? And if you are a Christian, can you please pray with me? Um, Listen, some people find it annoying that I talk about the grace of God over my life, but I would be lying if I said that he didn't exist, because I've actively seen him in my life. I've seen him work through my life. I've seen him work through other people. And if you haven't seen him yet, it's only a matter of time. Um, before you do, but you must believe that he can work in your life for him to do so. Because me personally, I just wouldn't want somebody to be intrusive if I don't want to believe that they exist. So with that being said, um, please bow your head and close your eyes. All right. Father, Lord, we thank you for waking us up this morning. We thank you for allowing us to see the wonderful light of this day. We thank you for each and every single person that has joined this stream today. We thank you that what you have done is planted a seed of miraculous things that you will create, miraculous blessings, miraculous endeavors, miraculous opportunities. Lord, that you will create miraculous relationships, that opportunities, doors, placements that we didn't think were possible will become possible. That people will wonder, how is that even a thing? And you will say, I don't know. And that's how we will know that it is truly from you. God, for what you're about to do in the lives of those who are listening is something that not even they feel they are fully prepared for, but that is why you send tests every single day to let them know how they will handle it. For those of them that may struggle with anger, we know that one thing you will do is test them to see if they can keep their patience. For those of them that may struggle with poverty, we know that you will test them with money to see how they will handle it. For those who may struggle with being stingy, not being able to steward the blessings you've given them, God, we know that you will test them with the opportunity to see if they can handle it. God, one thing we know is that you will test us to create for us. If I remember when I was reading Deuteronomy just 2 days ago, and you were talking about how the reason that the Israelites were able to make it to see where the promised land was located was because you put them through many tests to see if they were possible, if it was possible for them to receive it. God, for we know that you put us through many tests, and allow us not to ignore it so that we may not miss the revival of the beautiful things that we have within us, the revival of the blessings that you have within our family tree. God, allow us not to feel like we control time, for it is in your hands. And we know the more that we relinquish it to you, the faster you allow it to operate. God, for you are the creator of time, because you know what we can and cannot handle. You know what we are and are not expectant of, and what we do and do not need. You also know that there are other people that our actions are supposed to impact, and that they have to be at a certain place at a certain time to be able to receive the things that we are giving unto them. God, continue to allow each and every single person to be a vessel to those around them. Forgive them for their sins. Bless the people in their lives. Allow the people in their lives to prosper. And God, I just ask that no matter what, that you will continue to showcase yourself as a blessing in each and every single one of their lives. That you will bless the family that I saw in the documentary. That you will give them long life and prosperity, that even though they believed in you and struggled for so long, we know that change is coming their way, and that they will continue to see another day so that they may be able to enjoy the fact that you never ignored them after all these years. And the blessings of them we ask that you share unto us, that you will never ignore our prayers, you will never ignore our cries to you, and you will never ignore our unwillingness to let go of our faith. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kelly OG, and you're watching. Oh, I gotta do my thingy. Disney Channel. I need somebody to like outline that. Like, you're watching the OG channel. Hold on. But can I get an amen if you receive it? Can you please say, I receive it? I do believe it is a good thing for you to do it. I would like a prayer. If you could pray for me as I continue to go through a large life transition, I ask that you allow it to be possible in my life and the same in yours. But yes, I would appreciate that. You all are amazing. I will see you on Friday. I should be streaming on Friday. If I'm not, make sure you're following me on Instagram or Twitter. Oh, you can see my light in my glasses. Make sure you're following me on Instagram or Twitter so that I can let you know. Or X, as they call it. Anyways, with that being said, have a blessed one. Have a great one. You are great, blessed, highly favored. All right.